Look who's here.
She's bringing us our mugs.
Wow,
Yay!
thank
It's
you.
Jen.
Ooh.
Hashtag blessed.
I got coffee. Thank you, Jen.
Jen's the best.
Did you drink some of my coffee?
Nom, nom.
Did something to your coffee, but I don't know if I drank it.
Well, welcome to Coffee with Ken.
Good morning.
We got our drinks.
Yes, we
and
did.
We're ready to start Coffee with Ken, and we're so glad that they're here with us.
Yeah.
And they blessed us with a good, thank you, Jen. It's such a good cup of coffee.
Yes. So I am Dr. April Brown, Executive Vice President of Coaching here, and we've got Ken Brown, Coffee with Ken, named after him.
Good morning.
CEO. And we are with Butch McCracken. He's General Manager here at Destiny Global. And so we got some cups of water here. And just thinking of,
I got a cup of coffee.
when we are in need, when we are
Mhm.
thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually even stories of blessing
Yes,
about
there are.
when someone is thirsty, you bring them a drink of water as if it is to give unto
the Creator
the
himself.
Creator.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so anyway, she brought us some water.
Yes,
I feel
she
very
did.
blessed for that, or coffee or whatever. And but thinking of that, of like pitchers of water that people can bring to us when we are in need, when we're thirsty, and they bring those things to us. And what are some examples of that, of just when people have been thirsty? Because we hear things like that. We hear like even a verse, or we hear scripture, or we hear stories, or we hear testimonies. And
We have real life situations, though, because we do work in third world countries.
Mm.
And so when you talk about that, it immediately takes me to Pakistan and Pastor Dinesh, who we're partnered with through King's Ransom. And he's actually been on the show before. But this last year, we helped them set up literally hundreds of hand pump water wells where people did not have clean water before, which exposes them to all kinds of disease and uncleanliness, right? Just uncleanliness in general. And so now these families have, complete villages. It's not just families, it's villages now that have access to clean water, because these wells have a filtration system that lasts years using coal and sand and all these interesting things, but it purifies that water so that they're drinking water that's actually good for them.
Wow.
Because every day, all of us need water, right? We need
Yes.
food and water, and that is just the sustenance of life. And not only that, but they're able to grow things and then start a whole cycle of success. But when you think about the water wells, it makes me think of our coaches. So the Destiny Global Elite Personal Development coaches who decided to come together and to create their own goals to give and create and supply water. I mean, it was a very big number. I mean, it was as we call a BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal.
Yes.
And they were going after it. And, we achieved a significant goal for 2023. And here we're starting off this year, and you know that you'll be kicking that off. Another big, hairy, audacious goal for the coaches is they decided, well, actually, it was their goal. It wasn't yours. You helped them form it. You helped them lead it. But the reality is they came up with that goal. But they supplied water to, I think in that place alone, they supplied water to over 320 different locations, villages.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're talking about, when you're talking about villages, you're talking about families of, these aren't small families, these are 8 to 10, and you're talking 20 to 30 families per village. It is thousands of lives that were changed
And they
forever.
were just from hearing that there might be a reduction in people who would be outreach. And they stepped in to say, no, we don't want that to be reduced in any way of the numbers that we've been reaching for King's Ransom Foundation. And so they stepped in saying that they wanted to contribute to make sure that those still received water and more
Right.
kept receiving water. So it's amazing to think of hearts that have been helped, and in different ways, right? Like, it may not be with water that they've received, but when we've
Right.
been given something like it's such a blessing to be able to give back to others
So much,
and
so
not
much
just
so.
to receive. But once we have been given so much too, it just shows our hearts, our gratitude
Yes.
to give back to others.
That is so
Yeah.
true. That is absolutely true. And I mean, you have a saying that you like to say, and what was that saying about design?
Oh yes, that well, it's the law of desire
Mm-hmm.
that your desire it determines what your destiny is,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
and that's what you're designed to do,
Mm-hmm.
and your destiny is what you're designed to do.
Mm.
And usually that is around something. We think of problems and we think of hurts, problems, things that we've had to overcome.
Yep.
We think of those as like such a negative thing. But 9 times out of 10, when people have something they've overcome, it is something that they have been given the opportunity to help others because they
Yes.
were helped in that area.
So true.
Yeah.
That really exemplifies our coaches too, because they've been
Mhm.
poured into. They've been coming, most of them, to Destiny Global trainings for a number of years. They have really knocked off the limitations of their own life.
Mhm.
And I know you're probably have
Mindsets
numerous of them. Yes, numerous
so
of them
many.
that went from being in debt to now are training other people to get out of debt because they are out of debt themselves.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, we have Larissa and her husband, but Larissa as a coach who leads a group
Larissa, that's right.
Yeah, she leads a group now of I think it was over 70 people that helping to get out of debt, millions of dollars
Wow.
out of debt, and her getting out of debt, and just found out that they actually, when they went to go talk to, I guess, their CPA or whatever, and looking at that they found out that they're actually a millionaire. Not just how much debt that they paid off, but now
The
out of
assets
no
and
more
everything
debt,
that they
out of
have.
all of their assets and everything that they've grown out of since getting out of debt, that they're millionaires now.
Isn't that crazy?
Going
Think about
from debt
that.
to now.
And that's not in a
millionaires.
long period of time,
Yeah.
but you can do it too because focus. It's all
Mhm.
about focus. We talked about that last week, but
and
yes.
knowing that struggle was such a struggle for her family, for her
Mhm.
marriage, that that now she seeks to that has determined her, because her desire to get out of debt, and then it becomes a desire to help others to get out of
Mhm.
debt,
Jesus, yeah.
and so she
So
leads
true.
these groups to get out of debt, which is usually we can find something
yeah,
that is our passion, because it's so much as like we see how far we've come and what
Yeah.
has changed and transformed our lives to help other people, and that becomes such a passion. Yeah, we have others. We have the walls.
literally went from not being
Mhm.
able to buy groceries and people gifting them groceries and other things that they were
Mhm.
doing to now having, giving tens of thousands of dollars to King's Ransom. And it's just unbelievable and so proud of
But
this.
also they have a whole storehouse in their their
Yes.
company to
Their
provide.
company has a
for
storehouse
other
for the along with the church that
Mhm.
they serve out, which is shout out to Tim Fox and Jubilee Church, who hosted a First Steps event. By the way, the only one that's been in a church
Mhm.
in the United States. There was one in the UK years ago, but shout out to Tim Fox and them. But yeah, they do.
Angela, his wife.
Yes, and they have
Yeah.
a whole back of their warehouse is all food for. They live in Pensacola, so down in
Mhm.
Florida. So when disasters happen, but besides that, they give away. They're so active in the community and changing the face of a community, and the people come. And they're not looking for charity. They actually come looking for friendships, and they come to a place that welcomes them and blesses them as well. As they say, they give them a hand up, not a hand out,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
good.
good, right?
Yeah.
But them, that also, because their desire, what they had gone through determined their destiny and their
Mhm.
desire for helping other people,
Amen.
and finding
Yeah.
a way to do that.
Yes.
Finding a way to use what they had, the resources that they had, to be able to bless other people. It's
So
just, like,
true.
so amazing.
So true, and just amazing all the way
Mhm.
around. And
And how they even learn to do these things, just as you said, and some might be wondering, You're talking about a first step to success in a church, and we were in Pensacola, Florida. So we have
Mhm.
events here at Destiny Global.
We do. We have
that
one coming up in
help
just a
people
few
to learn
weeks
how to do these
here.
skills.
Yes,
Yes.
in it's Orlando, and it's
Mhm.
just in a few weeks, the 26th through 28th of this very month in
Yep.
Orlando, Florida. And you
Yeah.
need to get yourself there because we get to see you. We want to see you. We want to help you get the skills that you need to be one of these people that'll be on stage
That
talking
has
about your
the
successes.
same, story
Mhm.
and testimony. And what we see happen is people come here thinking they're skeptical.
Mm-hmm. They don't think it's possible.
Yeah. Were you,
Yeah.
you
But
were
they hope it's
skeptical, I
possible.
was skeptical. And they hear these stories and like, what? They went from, like having to have handouts to now handing out and having a company that is quadrupled. I don't even know what the number is.
They're in
their
the millions.
business.
But you know what? You can come meet them yourself.
Yes,
Yes.
and hear these testimonies
Yes.
and see for yourself, and they'll tell you. They'll be the first ones
Absolutely.
to tell you, and get these skills that they got, that we got.
And Jackie and Carmen,
And
our
Jack and
master
Carmen, who are
trainers.
the trainers.
Yes, and
who
they
have gotten
gain the
those
same
skills as
skills. They
well.
sit in the chairs for 16
Mhm.
years
Yeah.
and applied it, and very successful themselves,
Yes.
turning their lives completely around, their marriage around. Carmen
Every-
lost her refrigerator, and literally her. Seriously, guys, 100 is a lot of weight, and she took that off and kept herself fit. Jackie gaining a tremendous skill and keeping himself fit, and just really transform and have a beautiful,
Yeah.
amazing family. Master trainers.
Any goals that we have, that I have, that you have, that those who are watching have, it's just a matter of skill.
It is a matter of skill.
You have a desire, and you can't just osmosisly that happens.
You can't.
No, just through sleeping or putting a book up against your head. I don't know. It doesn't happen that way.
And get it.
And so you have to hear.
He tries to learn that way. He
and take
sleeps on a book,
action.
by the way.
Hasn't worked yet.
It does not work that way. You have to actually hear skills, learn skills, and apply them and practice them, and be
Yes.
around like-minded people that are growing
Can't
the
say
same
that
way.
enough.
Because if
So
you
true.
are around people who are not growing, you're going to, even if you do have some skills and you think you went to college and like that's all the learning that you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a continual learning. It's a continual
right.
growing.
We've learned
and being
that
around
ourselves.
people that are
Yes.
continuing to learn as well. And so we would love for you to be there in Orlando, Florida, January 26th to 28th. We always give you an invitation for that because it's just really what we do here. We want
Yeah.
to transform
Change your life. We
lives.
want to help you
Mhm.
accomplish your goals, your dreams, your vision for your life,
Mhm.
and be around.
To
Because you know
live
what?
The best life that you have, who you were designed to be. And we would love to see you there.
Yeah. Because remember this:
Mhm.
show me your 5 closest friends, and we'll show you your future. So you want to be around people that have done
Yep.
it and are doing it and creating
Mhm.
success and changing the world. Come be a
Yeah.
part. Come join us at First Steps to Success.
And helping you to
Mm.
fulfill your desires
Yes.
of what
How
you
you
were
created.
designed to do.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. So
Yes.
important. So thank you for joining us. Like, share, so that we can see you next time on Coffee with Ken.
See you soon.
See you, gang.